Okay, so we'll go again. Too deep in the south, that's what it is. I'm gonna go, should I let the cat out the bag right quick? Niggas, man, I got my nigga Quet in the building, man, cause, you know what I'm saying, Memphis 10 in the building. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick on these niggas, man? Then I went and got me a vid, and you can catch me in Memphis with Quet. I told y'all it's flip time, then she told me. I get it poppin' with Shawty. She hold my Glock and Safari. When we chillin', the VIP is cloudy, and they can't do nothing about it. And I let her run out my plays, and I got my gun on the stage. And her real hair down to her back, and she ain't rockin' no lace. She wet, bit, jets. And I got away with these words, and I used to play with these birds. And I've been going viral like 5E. I murked the pussy, it's a body. And then I try to give me the Rico. Fuck.
Policía, papi, no.
Yeah. Old enough. Jackson City, man. Fucking with Marcus Stoney, man. And I fuck with people that grind, man. I fuck with people that handle their business. I fuck with people who got the initiative to go ahead and work. I don't like associating myself with lazy people or people who don't respect the culture of music. You know what I'm saying?
Tonight, on the menu, we are serving the most explosive video in the United States drug trafficking and distribution history, covering one of the biggest legends that ever played the game. Everybody has at some point heard of the Hall of Famers like Craig Petties, Frank Matthews, Big Meech, the real Rick Ross, not that sloppy fraud rapper, and so on. However, nobody has ever heard of the real ghost. The real legend and real boss, real giver with good heart, who I personally nicknamed Mr. Cold as a wordplay on his real nickname, and because that dude is cold with it what he was actually doing, and who he was tied in with. Tonight we are breaking the internet in half and rewriting chapters in the history books of United States' biggest traffickers, and introducing a new name to the Hall of Fame exclusive club. We are about to show you who was Michael Jordan of this shit, without who there would be no story of Craig Petties. If this is the first time you hear of the name Mr. Cold, that means you've been watching all them goofy, so-called big channels. We already mentioned Mr. Cold in 4 to 6 of our public and private videos. If you are not familiar with them, right after this video, I need you to start with the Memphis Crew, about his organization that I also named personally and rebranded to who they are now, and how Govan crossed him for goofy fake gangsta and fake wannabe Craig Petties. Ho Gotti. After the Memphis Crew, check the video on how he paid for Govan's lying-ass attorney. And finally, check out my original video on Big Juke, where we claim being true or false, that he is the person Govan begged on his knees to lend him more money so he could knock off Big Juke and get away with Dolph's murder, because his life and freedom depended on another famous Memphis tattletale Big Juke. Don't believe none of that fake shit Gotti talking about we don't break, we don't fold. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, meet one and only Mr. Cold. Congratulations to Hernandez Govan. Mr. Cold's real name is Roderick Kelley from Memphis, Tennessee, better known in the streets as Hot Rod or Hot. One of the best to ever do it. Justice for Dolph has been keeping his identity to himself for years, trying to protect him despite he kind of being the reason that Rat Govan is not doing life in prison. Why did I decided it was the time to break the story on Hot Rod and shut down all them goofy big channels while taking a joy of chess-mating Govan? He would remain private until I found out what certain clowns who he helped before are planning to do to him, his story and legacy. Not only to him, but his right-hand man who will remain masked for now. I will try to not tell his story, but it is important to know he is a real giver and made so many big and small people in Memphis with his generous investments and believing in people. Aside helping real positive people, he has also invested significant amount of money into Govan, Justin Johnson, and Trella Records. He believed in the dream Govan sold him before crossing him. Hot Rod was also the first investor in another Memphis legend, Mr. Ian. Hot Rod even put Craig Petties on the game and linked him with his own plug Edgar Valdez, Villarreal, better known as La Barbie, without who Craig would be in prison doing time for breaking into cars and selling petty marijuana, like Govan be saying. That is part of the story they are also trying to exclude from their upcoming project. They will try to make it seem like he and his right-hand man are just some Craig's flunkies when they were the real bosses and plugs of the Memphis crew. For all them drug trafficking channels, I am very sorry to tell you, but La Barbie has always been Hot's plug. If you want to know how they met and how Roderick put Craig in the whole operation, make sure you stay tuned in with our channel. Shout out to Mr. Cold, the real Hall of Famer of drug trafficking. Now we are about to get into his criminal record and cover snitching allegation to chess mate goofies who will try to run with it to tarnish his name. If we do it, their whole plan will fall apart. Trust me, Mr. Cold, I know what I am doing. And I found you by myself. Nobody wanted to give me your name or a picture. Nobody told on you to us, don't worry. We are just something else over here. Let's get into the proof and address the snitching accusations. According to the Shelby County Portal, Roderick's criminal career goes back as far as between 1991 to 1994, where he got caught selling drugs. Around the same years, Craig got caught as a juvenile with a sawed-off shotgun, crack, and attempted murder. Both of them transitioned from these local crimes to operating a massive drug trafficking organization beginning in the mid-1990s. To make things clear for the goofies, we are not downplaying Craig's achievements. I am talking about drug operation achievements, not stupid murders. We are simply trying to tell the missing piece of Craig's own story by making sure the most important character is included in the story, who really was the first one to have that crazy-ass plug La Barbie. Let's read together now parts of paperwork, how that operation functioned, where you can really see who was on the receiving end of drugs from Mexican cartels, before further sharing it with Craig and other Memphis crew members, and leaving leftovers for my favorite Memphis snitch, Hernandez Govan. On December 3, 1998, a tractor-trailer with approximately 1,220 pounds of marijuana was apprehended by Texas law enforcement authorities while traveling from Texas to Memphis, Tennessee. The driver and occupant of the tractor-trailer agreed to cooperate with the authorities by delivering the marijuana as planned, thereby leading the authorities to other individuals involved in the scheme. When the marijuana was delivered in Memphis, 6 individuals were arrested at the scene: Roderick Kelley, Joel Villegas, Gilberto Fernandez, David Soto, Rolando Lopez, Jr., and Gilberto Garcia. Kelley's role was as purchaser of the marijuana. Villegas was the seller, and the other 4 suspects were the loaders, who transferred the marijuana from the tractor-trailer to a van owned by Kelley. Although both the van and the marijuana were recovered by the authorities, the driver of the van, alleged to be Henry Kane, defendant, escaped from the scene without arrest. During its prosecution of defendant on the Tennessee indictment, the government introduced evidence through the testimony of Roderick Kelley that defendant agreed to be Kelley's partner in the marijuana distribution business in October of 1997. TR 145. Kelley testified that this partnership operated on a continuous basis from October of 1997 until the arrest in Memphis on December 3, 1998. TR 145-156. The operation involved weekly shipments, and defendant was paid by Kelley on a weekly basis. TR 156. The government also offered testimony from numerous witnesses about large sums of money belonging to Kelley and defendant that police officers found on various occasions. The above evidence was in addition to developing in detail the events of December 3, 1998, TR 161-67, providing insight into the scope of the activity that was placed before the jury in the trial on the Tennessee indictment. The government ended its closing by stating, Mr. Kane, sick, was a long-term participant in this drug conspiracy, and he's responsible for the charges in this case. TR 288, emphasis added. Basically, if you were paying attention, the Mexicans got caught before coming to meet Kelley. They told on him and set up the entire police operation. For that reason, Hot turned tables on them and testified of their partnership. The plan of these goofies to tell the story the wrong way was to actually accuse of Roderick in setting up the suppliers with the police when the paperwork shows otherwise. Too bad. Y'all come up with better story, goofies. The overt acts alleged in the pending indictment include Joel Villegas traveling from Laredo, Texas to Memphis, Tennessee on 2 occasions in November of 1998 to deliver large amounts of marijuana to Roderick Kelley and defendant in exchange for large cash payments. Docket number 15. After both deliveries, Villegas transported the money back to Laredo. Additionally, this section of the indictment refers to a transaction on December 3, 1998, in which approximately 1,200 pounds of marijuana were transported from Laredo to Memphis and were delivered to Kelley. At that time, Kelley was holding $63,000 in cash that was to be used to pay for the marijuana. Under the heading Manner and Means, the pending indictment alleges that the defendants arrange for others to transport illegal proceeds and drug profits earned from the distribution of bulk quantities of marijuana to the defendants and others involved in the conspiracy, from Memphis, Tennessee, and other localities within the United States, to locations in Laredo, Texas. Docket number 15. See now who was the real Craig Petties, not that fake story that was put on. Craig was one of their other people they mentioned, Hot, put on the game. Why is the town of Laredo so important in the whole Memphis crew story? Stay tuned to our channel to find out the full story and how Hot and his right-hand man met La Barbie and how their operation got started. Only on Justice for Dolph Goofies. the realest channel on planet Earth. Let's get into what happened next after Hot was facing 40 years in 1999 and how he got out so early. I am about to show the world the paperwork first, so the sabotagers wouldn't own the story being old news when they planned to smear names. I am the coldest chess player, and Hot, you need to send me a crypto donation for defending your name instead of giving you Govan's treatment. Laughing out loud. In the United States District Court for the Western District of Tennessee, Western Division. United States of America Plaintiff versus Roderick Kelley, Defendant. Order denying motion to amend or supplement Section 2255 motion. Order denying motion under 28 U.S.C. Section 2255. Order denying certificate of appealability and order certifying appeal not taken in good faith. On May 20th, 2004, Defendant Roderick Kelley, Bureau of Prisons Registration Number 14289-076, an inmate at the Federal Correctional Center, FCC, at Petersburg, Virginia, filed a Motion 1 under 28 U.S.C. Section 2255. Seeking to set aside the sentence imposed for his convictions for violating 21 U.S.C. Sections 846 and 922G. Procedural history. On March 16, 1999, a federal grand jury returned a 3-count indictment against Kelley in Case No. 99-20071-L. Charging him with conspiracy to possess approximately 1,002 pounds of marijuana with intent to distribute, in violation of 21 U.S.C. Section 846 count. One, aiding and abetting in the attempted possession of approximately 1,002 pounds of marijuana with intent to distribute, in violation of 21 U.S.C. Section 846, Count 2, and being a felon in possession of a weapon, in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 922G. Also on March 16, 1999, a federal grand jury returned a 4-count indictment against Kelley in Case No. 99-20072-M.L., charging him with 1 count of conspiracy to possess approximately 1,221 pounds of marijuana with intent to distribute, in violation of 21 U.S.C. Section 846, Count 1. Aiding and abetting in the attempted possession of approximately 1,221 pounds of marijuana with intent to distribute, in violation of 21 U.S.C. Section 846, Count 2, possession of a firearm during and in relation to a drug trafficking crime, in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 924C, and being a felon in possession of a firearm, in violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 922G. On July 22, 1999, Kelley pled guilty pursuant to a written plea agreement to all 3 counts of Case No. 99-20071-M.L. and Counts 1 and 2 of Case No. 99-20072-M.L. This court conducted a sentencing hearing on September 14, 1999, at which time the government filed a motion for a downward departure under United States Sentencing Guidelines, USSG, Section 5K 1.1. The court granted the motion, sentencing Kelley to 21 years or 252 months imprisonment on Counts 1 and 2 of Case No. 99-20071-M.L., along with a 10-year or 120-month sentence of imprisonment on Count 3, to run concurrently with the sentence on counts 1 and 2. The court imposed a sentence of 21 years, or 252 months. Imprisonment on counts 1 and 2 of case No. 99-20071M.L. to be served consecutively to the sentence imposed in case No. 99 to 20,071 ML2 judgment was entered on September 16, 1999. Kelley did not appeal. Subsequently, on September 5, 2000 and December 21, 2001, the government filed motions pursuant to Federal R. CRIMP 35 and 18 U.S.C. Section 3553, based on Kelley's continuing assistance and cooperation. On February 2, 2002, the United States District Judge Julia Gibbons granted the motions and imposed a sentence of 164 months imprisonment. The amended judgment was entered on February 27, 2002. Kelley appealed, contending that the court erroneously considered factors other than Kelley's cooperation in determining the extent of departure. The Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals dismissed the appeal for lack of jurisdiction based upon its lack of authority to review the extent of the departure. United States v. Kelley, number 02-5333, 6th Circle, July 17, 2003. Defendants Pro 1. SE motion raised the following claims. The district court should have granted a reduction for acceptance of responsibility under USSG Section 3E1.1. 2. The evidence was insufficient to sustain his convictions for drug trafficking and being a felon in possession of a weapon. 2. Prior to the downward departure, Kelley's sentencing range in both cases was 30 years or 360 months to life imprisonment. The court expressly denied a reduction for acceptance of responsibility pursuant to USSG Section 3E1.1 because Kelley continued to engage in his drug smuggling enterprise after his arrest on December 3, 1998, and stopped only when he was arrested for the second time on March 2, 1999. 3. The sentence was based on an unconstitutional amendment to the indictment. And 4. The government breached the plea agreement by failing to give Kelley full credit for his extensive cooperation. Okay, the document has 17 pages. We will only read these 3 and additional 1 after giving you a summary, what we just read. We will upload tomorrow narration of all 17 pages if you are curious about the details. Because we do not need to go further than this today, or the video will be boring as hell. Before we get into some more exclusive information, let's summarize the first 3 pages. What makes this case especially interesting isn't just the guilty plea, it's what happened after it. According to the federal court record, Mr. Kelley didn't just admit guilt. Prosecutors formally told the judge that he provided what the law calls substantial assistance. That's a specific legal term, and it carries serious weight in federal court. After his plea, the government filed a motion under Section 5K 1.1 of the federal sentencing guidelines. That kind of motion is only filed when prosecutors believe a defendant has given meaningful help in investigations or prosecutions, help that benefits the government's cases. It's not automatic. It's not routine. Prosecutors must personally stand behind it. Because of that motion, the judge sentenced Kelley below the normal federal guideline range. In other words, he received a reduced sentence specifically tied to his cooperation. But the story doesn't end there. The same court record shows that prosecutors later filed additional sentence reduction motions, known as Rule 35 motions. These are even more telling because they're filed after sentencing and are based on continued cooperation. The government stated that Kelley kept assisting agents even after his conviction and initial sentence. As a result, his prison term was reduced again. So what we're seeing here is not speculation, not rumor, and not secondhand claims. It's documented directly in federal court filings. Prosecutors credited him more than once for ongoing cooperation and asked the judge to reward it with less prison time. And that's why this matters. In the federal system, sentence reductions tied to cooperation are one of the clearest official indicators that a defendant provided useful information or assistance. Judges don't invent these reductions on their own. They happen because the government requests them and explains why. So when you read these motions in the record, you're seeing the paper trail of cooperation, acknowledged, recorded, and rewarded in court. That's the significance of what we just uncovered in this case. Now the most important and shocking page. An ineffective assistance claim based on counsel's failure to raise a particular defense requires, as a threshold matter, a showing that the defense is meritorious. Kimmelman v. Morrison, 477 U.S. 365, 382, 1986. Kelley alleges that even though he committed a second offense while the first offense was out there, he continually accepted his responsibility not only in the first case, but in the second case as well. Kelley immediately both times gave confessions, corroborated, and he still continued to cooperate with the Drug Enforcement Administration Special Agent Abel Collins. His cooperation was very fruitful to the government. Kelley entered a guilty plea when the government requested him to. He did not at any time cause the government to need to prepare their cases for trial against him. It was made clear to the government that Kelley chose to cooperate and admit and accept responsibility and agreed to plead guilty. Yes, he got caught with his hands in the cookie jar the second time. It was still fact that the government needed his help and the government agreed to allow him to cooperate. He had been very productive to the government not only in cases in Memphis, Tennessee, but also in helping 2 DEA agents from the San Antonio, Texas office Special Agent Jeff Atkinson and Scott Hanton, and the San Antonio AUSA Gregory D. Anderson. Kelley's motion, pages 8 to 9. Kelley further contends that he is entitled to the point reduction because he meets the criteria of Section 3E1.1. Defendant was arrested for his drug trafficking activities in Case No. 99 to 20,071 on December 13, 1998. Although Kelley began cooperating with federal agents by providing information about the transportation of marijuana from Texas to Tennessee, he continued to engage in his drug smuggling enterprise and did not provide information about a delivery in February of 1999, which resulted in his arrest on March 2, 1999, and subsequent charges. God damn. Mr. Cold is real damn cold. Just wow. That boy went as far as informing on San Antonio. I wonder who was in San Antonio. The sad thing is, his right-hand man cooperated too. Let me give you a summary and conclusion of what we just read before we move on. Damn Mr. Cold. There's another critical moment in the court record, and it appears deeper in the ruling on page 11, where the judge gives a more complicated view of Kelley's cooperation. The court acknowledges that Kelley did, in fact, begin working with federal agents and providing information about marijuana trafficking routes between Texas and Tennessee. That confirms he was actively giving intelligence to investigators. But the judge then points out something that changes the tone completely. According to the court's findings, even while Kelley was cooperating, he continued participating in drug trafficking activity. The record states that he failed to inform agents about a specific drug delivery, a shipment that later led directly to his arrest. So while prosecutors credited him with assistance and even filed sentence reduction motions, the judge made it clear that this cooperation was not clean or complete. It came with contradictions. In plain terms, the court is saying Kelley helped, but he also kept operating in the same criminal pipeline during that time. That detail matters because it explains why the court refused to give him the full acceptance of responsibility credit that defendants often receive when they truly stop their criminal conduct and fully come clean. For viewers, this is where the story becomes more complex. It's not simply cooperation equals leniency. It's cooperation mixed with continued criminal behavior, and a judge calling that out directly in the record. This page shows the tension between what prosecutors reward and what judges ultimately believe deserves full credit. When did he actually get out after facing 25 to life in 1999? According to his Facebook, it looks like he was getting out in November of 2013. He did some time, but damn, he got out the life in prison. Unfortunately, he did it by cooperating. Now that we have established his timeline, let's ask goofy ChatGPT to go over Craig Petties' timeline so we can compare how both cases were developing simultaneously. AI talking about. Here's a timeline of key events from the issuance of federal warrants for Craig Petties through his arrest and prosecution, as documented in public sources. Timeline. Warrant and arrest of Craig Petties. 2001 to 2002, federal indictment and warrant issued. After discovery of large cocaine shipments linked to his organization in the summer of 2002, a federal grand jury returned an indictment against Petties, charging him with drug trafficking and related crimes. Petties fled to Mexico to evade arrest. A federal arrest warrant was issued in connection with the indictment, including superseding charges by 2007, to apprehend Petties for drug trafficking and violent crime offenses. August 2004, U.S. Marshals 15 Most Wanted. Petties was formally added to the U.S. Marshals Service's 15 Most Wanted Fugitives list, elevating priority to capture him. He was also featured on America's Most Wanted to aid public leads. 2002 to 2007, fugitive in Mexico. Petties remained a fugitive in Mexico under cartel protection. During this period, law enforcement continued to pursue the federal arrest warrant and monitor his activities. January 10th to 15th, 2008, capture and arrest. Petties was captured on January 10th, 2008, in Santiago de Querétaro, Mexico, after Mexican police and military raided his residence following international coordination. After his capture in Mexico, Petties was deported to the United States, where U.S. federal agents formally arrested him in Houston pursuant to the outstanding federal warrant and indictment. Some DOJ summaries list the arrest as January 15th, 2008 in Querétaro. December 2009, guilty plea sealed. Petties secretly pleaded guilty to racketeering, murder in aid of racketeering, and other federal charges connected to the earlier indictment. The plea was sealed at the time. The real questions to be answered are: did Mr. Cold cooperate against Craig, La Barbie, Sinaloa Cartel, or even contributed to raid of Martini Room in 2004? If you hear Martini Room for the first time, go to my video about Lambert McDaniels. Where was Harry to break the news on Roderick Kelley? Nowhere. Roderick just didn't have enough and was ready to revive his empire as soon as he got out, like Phoenix rising from the ashes. The greatest gift of freedom he took for granted. If you have seen Howard Barnett video, you would know he was the main plug for weed again since he got out, all the way until he got arrested for drugs. This time it was 5 kilos of cocaine. Let's check out this news article. Boy, I am fucking up all the blogs by publishing everything that is on Google, so I can be the only one with more information that it is on Google, completely ruining videos of any retarded, govern-biased, and Dolph-disrespectful vulture bloggers. Memphis, Tennessee. A total of 34 individuals have been sentenced after a 2-year investigation known as Operation Gangster's Paradise, conducted by the Organized Crime and Drug Enforcement Task Force, OCDETF. Members of the drug trafficking organization have been sentenced to federal prison for drug and money laundering violations. D. Michael Donovan, U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Tennessee, announced the sentences today. According to information presented in court in 2016, the Memphis Division of the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, began investigating a drug trafficking organization responsible for distributing cocaine, heroin, and marijuana in the Memphis area. This led to several multi-defendant indictments involving a variety of narcotics and money laundering charges. On today's date, the final defendant was sentenced. Below is a list of those indicted, the charges for which they were convicted, and the sentences imposed. Roderick Kelley, 44, conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute cocaine on August 5, 2019. U.S. District Court Judge Cheryl H. Lipman sentenced Kelley to 46 months for years supervised release. Mr. Cold, aka Hot Rod, did all that time until about couple weeks after Govan got arrested in 2022 for Young Dolph's murder, meaning he did not have to cooperate this time. However, he did cooperate with Govan on a straight drop deal per our The Memphis Crew video, and per his own snitching confirmation, looking all defeated, because I was the first one to drop that exclusive information.
CMG don't have the power in Memphis. We do.
Who is we?
The group of people that are for the good, for the good of mankind in Memphis.
Sometimes I be bored and want to assist my favorite Memphis snitch Hernandez, Govin, by encouraging him to hate and block me per usual. When I start sending him his own secrets, I be doing shit like this. Remember when in Lil Flip's video, I posted the first part of the message laughing at him for breaking up with his Houston boyfriend? And told you he blocked me again? Well, here goes the rest. I told him this from a burner account because he dodging me ever since I exposed him when he played in my comments how he shot that guy who ran off with Hot's money. Actually, better say his investment in a gas station. I told Govin stop bullshitting and drop Lil Flip's DMs because I am not coming back later on adding it in the video. And that if I heard that Lil Flip beef with T.I. chain snatching story one more time, I would hang myself. He told me, who cares? So I told him Roderick Kelley does. Little Goomba from Super Mario franchise told me, who is that acting all slow after begging me to tell him, whereas his OG years ago in my comments. You got that earlier in this video, that scene I show Hot for the first time. So I sent the rat a picture of them standing next to each other and told him I think it is him, but I am not an expert. Immediately blocked me like his name is Mario Mims or Devin Steele. Do y'all want to see more pictures of Govin and his main sponsor Roderick Kelley? You better have stickers of name Hot Rod on your every live show like in sports, how much that man sponsored you and ain't made no money. If Hot links up with me, I would make him hundreds of millions. You too slow for all that. How you trap with Craig Petties and Roderick Kelley, and the third one, and Mr. Ian and Evlon, and you end up broke on Bradley Street taking hits for hire, hating on Dolph every time he drops a new project. Boy, get the fuck out of here, you a real failure. It really takes a special talent not to end up filthy rich with those plugs. I hope Mr. Cold is real proud of his snitching devil-ass best friend who ruined the future of Memphis by taking out one of the only shining lights of positivity in the city called Young Dolph. I hope he is not ashamed at all being put right next to the biggest woman beater in Memphis history who done put out at least 3 hits on people's moms and threatened to one of his daughters and choke out the other one. Is this your best friend, Mr. Cold? Are you proud of yourself to fuel and finance the biggest loss to the city of Memphis, and have this rat running around still tarnishing his legacy? It is equally your fault for helping him. You chose him over your city and the future. All that good shit you did for people, Govin managed to fuck that up too. Is this your best friend?
Honey, we don't do that around here. Come out of here with all that mess. Don't let me find out you messing around with no drug dealer.
My young bitch, she thinks she Trina. She swears she the baddest. A good girl can't wait to give a drug dealer them panties. Yeah. All the pretty bitches love drug dealers. All the pretty bitches love drug dealers. Mama told her stay away from them drug dealers, but she fell in love with a drug dealer. Hey, all the pretty bitches love drug dealers. All the ratchet bitches love drug dealers. All the savage bitches love drug dealers. Yeah, all the pretty bitches love drug dealers.
Well, this is awkward. No pun intended. Meet Virginia Awkward, Quet's and Evlon's best friend, Anne, Roderick Kelley's ex-girlfriend. Guess who else's? She was Mr. Ian's girlfriend in high school, before she joined law enforcement. Wow. So you are telling me, Justice for Dolph, that Govin and the rest of them in the Memphis crew indeed have a fine MPD homegirl who they dealing with? Yes, that's what I said. And also the one who been covering for the entire crew. She was on that MPD TV show called Policewoman of Memphis or something like that. She has retired recently. She was never the lead investigator, but most definitely been sabotaging Thurman Richardson every step of the way since she was with Hot when he got out and continued his drug operation. You think his girlfriend didn't notice his house is full of drugs? You think she don't know about whole lot of bodies? You gotta be a complete retard not to think she was one of their insiders in the period she was dating Hot. On that picture with Evlon, she looks so damn delicious. Too bad she is into women now and married to a female. Justice for Dolph didn't have a chance to get his turn. I would join the crew if that's the requirement to take one of my favorite cougars in Memphis on a date. More on Ms. Virginia and Evlon in their belonging chapters in the documentary. Where Lil Carla at? She not the only one fell in love with a drug dealer. Mr. Hot got some explaining to do about this one and her to internal affairs and the people in whose cases she was getting intervened covering for her drug trafficking buddies with damn cartel ties. Now, we getting to my favorite part of the evening. I can't wait to expose this snake-face feminine Adrian, who spends more time in the mirror than an IG model stroking his ego. Let me tell you first, who is he and how the story goes. So T.I., when he wasn't snitching, he did some time and met this sucker Adrian. T.I. got beef with 50 Cent over multiple things, including Big Meech. So these two geniuses came up with an idea to screw 50 Cent over by getting rights to Craig Petties' movie about 10 years ago to counter his BMF documentary. However, in this process, T.I. did not understand what was Lil Pussy Adrian's personal agenda. You see what Adrian did. He'd been around all these people since high school, and out of all females, he impregnated Hot's right-hand man high school sweetheart, and ever since they got smoke. I call Hot's right-hand man the real Mr. Real Estate, Pete, taking the nickname from that sucker Jay, who couldn't wait to take pictures with Bass Pro Hat, sending shots at Dolph 3 days after he died when they released the pictures of shooters. More on that clown in the documentary. Well, I took his nickname and gave to the rightful owner, since Hot's right-hand man who continued the pipeline when Hot got picked up, and that boy is a beast in real estate. He had over $100K in 11th grade and was the one who invested in Curtis Givens' first nightclub with dope money. Curtis been holding dope and money for him, so Curtis is technically in the crew, even though that sounds embarrassing. Anyway, Adrian crossed him, and since they got an issue, Adrian Goofy has planned to tell entire Craig Petty story wrong, completely excluding this second legend, the real Mr. Real Estate. I got to find that out and how they will use Craig Petty's movie, so I am cooking up a counter for his and TIS. See this guy Marcus in green shirt. He is Howard Barnett's best friend and stuck between all these conflicts and agendas trying to navigate it. T.I. Goofy knows Mr. Cold, they do trade stocks together. Them two and Marcus. They putting big money in. So when you see Govan going at T.I. telling him how his history with that snake with personal agendas, Adrian supersedes T.I. meeting him in prison. He wasn't lying. Adrian been close with entire crew, including Evlon, since high school times. What T.I. needs to do is call Roderick Kelley to get on Govan ass for disrespecting him online. That's who got power and ownership over Govan. Adrian can't make Govan do shit. Is you stupid? I am going to get on T.I. as eventually because he never once spoke up for his fellow Atlanta resident Young Dolph and call suckers out. That's why T.I. is a real sucker in my eyes. What an embarrassment to the city that also loves Dolph. Now we all know why goofy balding T.I. don't dare to call nobody out, because he is mingling with all these people. It's fucked off when it comes to T.I. Anyway, so between Adrian and T.I., then Govan, and then me, it's a complete wacky racist situation out here who now going to have the first documentary. It is about who is going to have the best documentary. And none of these clowns can fuck with me. Somebody tell 50 Cent he wants to screw over T.I. for him playing this move and plotting for years, linking up with Omar Epps. 50 needs to reach out to Justice for Dolph immediately and get on my team. Do not do a documentary with Govan. It will only bite you back in the ass because all these people work together. I've been telling the crew members how Adrian do work with Govan and Gotti on this whole move to fuck up the stories of two biggest legends in drug trafficking history, Mr. Cold and Mr. Real Estate, by trying to make it look like Craig met La Barbie when he was breaking into people's cars. Get the fuck out of here, Adrian, with that fake shit. Craig met La Barbie through Hot and his right-hand man. And now makes sense why you pushing this story, because dumbass T.I. believes that shit. I hope that Fed Govan takes his chain again. Just hide your wife. T.I. Govan not going to do you how Floyd did ya. The first thing he will do is threaten your mama and then beat up your wife per usual. All these goofies working together still can't fuck with me. Watch how I'm going to ruin that big budget T.I. and Adrian aka Dumb and Dumber been collecting all these years. And 50 Cent, you need to work with me because I am about to show you, Flip and Govan, how to properly beef with T.I. and this sucker Adrian. Boy, I got nuclear bombs on the way. The Diddy series you did 50 will be old news by the time I am done with these clowns. Goofy ass Adrian, check this shit out too. Check out this moron. I knew it. I was right telling certain crew members how based on what I found out Adrian has to be working with Gotti and Rock Nation too, since Gotti is trying to play chess with Mr. Cold. And here goes this dumbass Adrian in 2018 shooting another documentary with Rock Nation around the time Gotti was announcing CMG movies or some shit like that, which never came through. Little Snake talking about when Rock Nation and Tidal insist I be placed in front of the cameras instead of behind the scenes. Do you all see now what I see, dear Mr. Real Estate? Justice for Mr. Real Estate. Today, you get your good karma back and have me going at Adrian. Want to see more? But first, I know you will love this shit. Let's put some paperwork of this complete idiot up on the screen. Salute Mr. Real Estate. I know all the pretty bitches don't love this drug dealer. Check out Dumber Jim Carrey as drug dealer from Dumb and Dumber, Adrian Broom. On November 14th, 2003, at approximately 6 p.m., Goofball did sell approximately 1 pound of marijuana to a cooperating individual working with law enforcement. That gotta be Quet or somebody of his kind. Not only Adrian started whole shit over a female because he wanted his partner's high school sweetheart, but he got caught selling a whole pound to undercovers. Man, this idiot made the whole operation hot for everybody. They probably brought him to 201 Poplar, and he started crying, giving up Craig Petties' exact GPS coordinates in Mexico. What a goofy. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Thanks for coming, y'all. Salute Mr. Cold, and don't forget.
Hey, man. Whatever I'm on, hot rod on.
Niggas been knew about it. It ain't no secret. I stand on it. Ain't no nigga gonna do nothing about it. And it is what it is.
With no labor, young fly nigga. Hide nigga. Fucked your bitch and told her bye nigga. No lie nigga. Hey, hold on, bro.
Yo, Young Dolph is a wild boy. He a wild boy. I like him.
Hey, man.
Bye, nigga.
Shout out to the street. Shout out to all the hustlers. Shout out to all the money go getters, man. Go get the money, man.
Damn, boy. I tell you, man. Young Dolph.
He fucked your bitch and said bye.
Nigga.
No lie, nigga.
Hey, man, if I was your pussy ass boy, I'd be mad at me too, man. Why you mad at me?
It's some people I heard that they playing chess. You know, I saw the board. We all watching the board. The best chess players in the town watching the board. We watching this game as it progresses, like you watching two people play on the board. You dig what I'm saying? And you know, niggas playing to win. You know, you know, and
yeah. I know they ain't think it was over with.
Run me up, man. Tag a friend, yeah, and another friend. Fuck you saying? Everybody get here.
I mean, just keeping it G, the video was funny at best.
Okay, so we'll go again.
Too deep in the South. That's what it is. I'm gonna go. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick? Man, I got my nigga Quet in the building, man. Cause, you know what I'm saying? Memphis 10 in the building. Should I let the cat out the bag right quick on these niggas, man?
Then I went and got me a fit. And you can catch me in Memphis with Quet.
No, I'm joking. Justice Dolph is done a great job with the content that's on their channel.
Yeah.
People think that I am the Justice for Dolph channel, and I am not the Justice for Dolph channel. You feel what I'm saying? We do work together on a lot of different things, but I can't write, create, edit every show. Like, I don't have that type of time to do that. And so Justice for Dolph does the editing and a lot of the concepts from the show. I just do some executive producing, and I also do that for about six more shows.